Hey, Wally. Hey, good to see you, man. Thanks for popping in. Have a relaxing sleep. Yeah, I don't know why it's cutting out. Is it still coming through clear at least? Yeah, sorry about the cutting it out. I mean, it must be my internet or something. I'll keep hitting retry if it keeps cutting out. Yeah, Kevin, I'll keep working. As long as people are around and I'm still on my feet, it's the least I can do. I've still got your Aquaman on my list of commissions to do. I've never drawn anything in this style, so I'm just kind of making it up as I go along. And you're working on the front lines, man. So request away. I mean, you're in the labs, you're in the hospitals, you're doing great work. All I got to do is stand here and draw stuff. Oh, thanks, Desiree. Glad you like it. Just get so nervous sometimes when I'm drawing some of these things that I've never drawn before. It's just like, let's see how this goes. Like I've got on my commission list. Someone wants a cartoon style portrait, like in the style of those Wally comic books. I don't know. I guess this kind of looks like some of those modern comics, like those Living Dead comics. What's her name? The lady that she's a zombie tramp. That's what it is. Never read an issue, but I've seen the folks around that do the artwork. Hey, sure, Jesse. Whenever. Be my pleasure to do it. I always liked Jean Grey, the character, just her character arc. She just is such a cool one. From the kind of creepy stuff in the Silver Age comics, all the way to her being in charge and running the team. Just to warn people, if it cuts out again, I don't know what it is, but I'll just keep hitting the refresh button. It'll just open in a new window, I would assume. I don't know why it doesn't just open in the same window. I'm not smart enough to know that. I don't know what that sticker is, but I'm going to hope that it's nice. Yeah, we all do. It's going to be a different world when the conventions happen again. So I'll be very appreciative of that day. Ocean Master? Sure, Kevin. Yeah, I'd be happy to. No rush at all, Jesse. None whatsoever. It's very nice of you to think of it. We're going to use some of my favorite technique. Let me get the sponge out. Lexington's in June now. Yeah, they canceled Gem City. That was going to be at the end of April, but I understand. And like I said in my post, whatever Jesse says is, I support. They're good people, and what's amazing. What was amazing is the wrong word. I don't know what the right word is. Shocking, alarming. I don't know, but if you think about it, like Gem City's up in Dayton, Ohio, and they had that shooting last year, and this was going to be the first show back after that. And then, you throw the pandemic stuff on top of everything else, like that. It's a tough spot. Hey, Angie, good to see you. Likewise, doing okay, all things considered. Oops, got a little bit of a smudge there. I have to use some white out. Sorry about that. Thought it was dry. Yeah, my wife likes The Lighthouse. She saw it in the theater. I haven't seen it. That's on our list of movies to see. I don't mind if a movie's intense as long as it's good. That's kind of the run of the mill. Yeah, they may change it. I don't know. I haven't heard anything as far as the San Diego goes. They haven't said anything to me as far as like whether I'm still going, whether it's happening for NEC, because NEC is kind of in a holding pattern, just like the rest of the industry. I actually just talked to the art director today. Stuff that we're trying to get moving, but it's tough because there's so much uncertainty. One thing I found interesting was that their printer is one of the few people still printing. Knives Out, that one looked interesting. One thing that grosses people out about me, I love licorice jelly beans. Love black jelly beans. Knives Out. I heard that was good. I'll put that on the list. Yeah. Well, that's my interpretation of Baby Dark Phoenix. Jojo Rabbit I saw that in the theater. I enjoyed it. I mean, there's some highly unpleasant moments in it, but I thought it was an excellent movie. (1917). I'm not so good with war movies. Not sure if I have it right here. Maybe I do. Maybe I do have it. Hold on. There you go. There's a Joe St. Pierre piece I got, commissioned from Joe. Little reference. Remember when I did Aquaman artists? Joe St. Pierre right on the list. I'm trying to remember what show he did that for me at. I think it was when we went out to Colorado Springs, actually. Joe was supposed to be on after me for on that the Comic Crusaders did this past weekend. He was having technical difficulties and he couldn't get his sound working, so I wound up being on for like an hour. I did my best to fill the time. He does. He really does. I wish he would get, a nod from one of the big two. Maybe with new people coming in at DC, he'll get another shot. He just is. I think he's doing the best work of his career, and like his Venom stuff is just was so early in his career, and they keep reprinting it and putting it out and putting it out. And I just think that if they gave him a crack at something now, I think his stuff would really pop. I do collect comic art. I actually have a comic art fans account where I post my collection. You can actually check out, you know, a bunch of sketches and pages and stuff I've done, and stuff I've bought, stuff I've been lucky to trade for. Hey, good hanging out with you too, Desiree. Enjoy your dinner. I'll PM you the link, you know, at some point if you want, Charlie. Yeah, the Cousteau books are great. I would have been obsessed with those as a kid. Oh, that's very cool, Desiree. Thanks for sharing that info. Desiree's good people. So she's saying she can absolutely send her a message. Did I keep any pages from my first comic book gig? Yeah, I still have them all. I actually don't sell many of my comic book pages. I've sold a move and hire a moving truck, or you know, if money really got tight, I've sold a few. I've sold a couple of covers. Um, but I have those pages. I actually have the first gig I ever did inking with a regular, like a real pro, was with Daryl Banks, and I inked like a 16-page story or 12-page story, something like that. I was a terrible inker at the time, god awful. Um, but I kept the pages. I still have those, and Daryl signed them for me. You know, it's a tough situation. Like, do you sell the pages right away and get the quick couple of bucks, or do you sit on them and save them for a rainy day? You know, that's. I remember I had a